Hey gamer, you know what's really been grinding my gears? The fact that every custom firmware video you watch on YouTube, the links provided by the creators literally never work. You always get the display error message on the PlayStation internet browser. No. Wait. Well, enough is enough. I have discovered a new way to obtain a custom firmware PlayStation 3 without the use of the PS exploit site. May I remind you, this is a full custom firmware jailbreak and it is not the hen version. In other words, this is the more advanced, more powerful jailbreak of the two, but if you're a beginner, or are unfortunate enough to own one of them extra slim PS3s, then I wouldn't recommend this tutorial. But if you want a CFW for your PS3 that actually works in 2023, I recommend sticking around for the entire video. Because if there's anything in the world I can guarantee you, is that if you follow every step in this video, you will end up with a fully functioning custom firmware. Not only that, but at the end, I will show you exactly what you need to proceed immediately after successfully jailbreaking your console. Guys, this video took me many cold nights to make, so sharing the love in the likes and comments is always very appreciated it. And a cheeky subscribe if you're feeling up to it. No more talking, let's get right into this easy to do tutorial. For step 1, you will need to head to your internet browser. From here, press triangle to bring up the side menu, go to Tools, now clear your cookies. Next, I need you to go Tools again, and clear your search history. Finally, go to Tools one more time, and clear your cache. Now, you're ready to enter in the URL for the toolbox site we will be using. For this, press Select to bring up the search bar, then, type in the following link provided in the description and on screen. I will leave it on screen for a second here for you to enter it yourself. Now, press Start to search, and it should bring you to this page. You should be able to see two different versions for the toolbox set needed for this tutorial. However, I recommend only using the James' WAAay mirror, as the other one is completely untested for me. Click Download on the James' WAAay mirror. From here, scroll down until you see a header saying how to access without self-host. Bingo guys, click the blue part and it should bring up another page taking you directly to the toolbox. Quick disclaimer guys, this kind of process shouldn't be taken lightly, and has to be done entirely at your own risk. Also, before moving forward, plug in your FAT32 USB into the console. If you don't know how to format your USB to FAT32, I provide a tutorial later in this video. You can find it, then come back to this part if you like, otherwise we're good to go. With that being said, let's move on. From here you should see a green tick next to compatible PS3. If you see an X, then I recommend doing the hen jailbreak instead of this. You can find a link to my tutorial in the pinned comment. Now, if you're in the green and good to go, head to System Manager, then click on Flash Memory, click the option that says USB, and save your dump file here. This file is extremely important in the event something goes wrong, because it will allow you to gain access to your PS3 again. Do not skip this step guys, very important. Now guys, we can head on over to the desktop and complete stage 2. Okay guys, now we're on the desktop. There's a couple of links you're going to need to download in order to continue. The first one is the custom firmware itself. Head to the description to find this link, then click download. Don't worry if it says one of the links isn't working, just try one of the alternatives provided by the publisher. The second one worked for me just fine. Go ahead and download this file. It will take a little while. In the meantime, there's a second download that needs to be done, and that is the dump checker files. These files will allow you to check that your dump is fully compatible to have a custom firmware installed. Head to the second link provided in the description. Once on the page, click the green button that says Code. It should bring up a drop-down menu, then click on Download Zip and let it do its thing. Both will take a little while, especially the CFW, so just be patient. Once both are downloaded, get them on your desktop so it's easy to work with. First, we will start with the dump checker files. Go ahead and extract the file to your desktop, then open it up. From here, you should see another WinRAR file. Extract that into same folder also, or just drag it in like how I do it. Next, create a folder and call it original, then plug the USB from earlier into your computer, open up the USB on your computer, and drag that dump hex file into the folder you just made. This is essential so that you have a backup in case things go sideways later on. Now, you should see an application called drag and drop your dump here. Do exactly that, drag your dump hex file on top of this application, and it should run this program. It's checking that your PS3 is all good for the custom firmware. You should see after a short while that you have no issues, number of dangers should be 0, and number of warnings should be 0. If for some reason it's not and you have errors, I recommend not continuing any further. Instead, do the hen jailbreak. If, like me, you have 0, we can continue. Now, open up your custom firmware downloaded file from earlier and extract it. You should see a folder named PS3. Drag this folder to your USB. After that, eject the USB and we're good to go for the next step. Now, back on the console, plug your USB in now before we get started, just so you don't have to do it later. Once you've done that, you'll need to follow these next steps very carefully. On the same page as earlier, click on Flash Memory Patch. It should bring up a drop-down menu. Click on Download Patch File. This will take a couple of seconds. Whatever you do, do not turn off your console at any time from this point onwards. After that, click on Close, then click on Flash Memory Patch again, and click on Apply Loaded Patch. Guys, this is the point of no return. Think carefully before proceeding because after you click Next, there is no going back. Unless you're using a non-compatible PS3, you should be fine, but like I said, proceed at your own risk. Click Yes, and let the download do its thing. It will take about a minute or two to fully download. Once it's done, it will say you can now reboot your console. Go ahead and turn off the console entirely. Now, you will need to go into safe mode and install the custom firmware itself. To do this, make sure the console is off. Hold the power button down until the console turns off again, then let go of the button, then hold it down again until you hear 2 beeps one after the other, then release. Now, you should see this screen. You're good to go for the final step. From here, head down to System Update, press Start and select at the same time, and let the update download fully. Congratulations if you've made it this far, because as promised at the start, you've now successfully jailbroken your console using a custom firmware. You should see this message pop up saying what kind of CFW you have installed. Go ahead and agree to all the terms it asks of you. Now, once it's fully done, it will restart and that's it, you've done it. But you must be wondering to yourself, what do I do next? Well, for the end of this guide, I'm going to be showing you what essential applications you need to download, and briefly explain how you can go about installing them on your console. So, there's many application you can install. However, to get started all you will need is Webman and Multiman. Both will be provided in the description of this video. Simply plug your USB into your computer, go to the download files. Once they download, copy them over to your USB, then plug the USB into your console, go to Package Manager, install Package Files, Standard, then you will see all the files here to install, click on them and they will install to your XMB, and that's it guys. I hope you have enjoyed this full guide to getting a working custom firmware for your PlayStation 3. Remember to leave the love on your way out. Cheers guys, enjoy and peace.